How WWE should book WrestleMania 41. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling, eh?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the heels of Elimination Chamber with how great Elimination Chamber was, let's make sure we kind of keep that thing going. We'll give our thoughts. WWE knows better than us, so they probably shouldn't listen to this, but we'll give it a shot.
Road to WrestleMania has been absolutely changed forever, given the fallout of Elimination Chamber and Raw. I mean, crazy stuff here. We have a John Cena heel turn. We got Rhea Ripley not walking into WrestleMania as your champion, or Liv Morgan for that matter, the way the whole year was going. Crazy stuff there. We have Jade back. We have Randy Orton back. We're cooking. Road to WrestleMania is absolutely cooking, and I can't wait for it. But there are some do's and some don'ts when you think about it when it comes to WrestleMania and what WWE should do about it. We did a podcast last week about how not to do or what not to do at WrestleMania. So let's give them our opinions on what they should do at WrestleMania this year, huh?
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying they weren't really excited for this WrestleMania, which I could not disagree anymore. I'm very excited for this Mania. Hopefully, Chamber kind of reignited those flames, that happiness for other people, because it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and we're going to get the big one right out of the way here. John Cena. John Cena is going to be a heel walking into his final WrestleMania match. WWE booking it. It's Cody Rhodes. You know, it's their guy. He hasn't lost in a long time. He was the man that defeated Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. The 4-year-long reign came to an end. The story was finished. But then the story had to carry on because it's wrestling and we're 365 here. Should John Cena beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, break the record, and become champion as the heel, though?
If you don't do this, I don't know why you had him turn heel. Like, I feel like you have to give him the title now. It is going to feel a little bit weird with 17 being a heel Cena, but you know what? I'm here for it. It would feel really weird if at the end of the day, all the odds stacked against him, Cody Rhodes once again prevails at Mania. You're just kind of like, well, damn, nothing really can hold Cody back, and he's just better than everybody that's ever existed. So I would say I'm fairly confident on this one. I was fairly confident that we're going to turn Cena heel. So what do I know? But if you don't give John the title here with the backing of the final boss, what's the point of the heel turn?
I completely 100% agree. This is the way to do it. If you would have had John Cena beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania while being a face, it would have felt like the WWE just kind of giving a handout for the 17th world title, right? That would have kind of been the sentiment of the crowd. Well, now you turn the man into a super heel, the biggest heel turn arguably in history. The payoff needs to be him stealing that title, stealing it from the golden boy, the poster boy, the quarterback of the WWE, Cody Rhodes. Break Ric Flair's record. Do the right thing, WWE. You got to give John Cena the championship here. That's how you book WrestleMania's main event.
Yeah, and I guess maybe at a different time as we get closer, we can kind of get more in depth to that. But the final boss here has to play a role. I mean, The Rock last year was like, hey, these are my rules. Like, if you ring the bell, you're fired to the refs. I want to see that again. I want to see John Cena just kind of destroying Cody. And for lack of a better term, the ref's like, oh, man, I got to stop this. You can't bring a chair in. You can't do this. You can't. And The Rock's just like, no.
Yeah.
He's going to do all of it. That's what I want to see.
And if it turns into a WrestleMania 40 circumstance of like Cody getting aid from people, right? Stone Cold already came on the podcast and said it's going to be in Las Vegas this year. So if that guy needs help again, I may be there. It's like, in my opinion, I don't care who helps Cody Rhodes. You still have John Cena go over. In fact, you can have Super Cena return in heel form, and he can beat FU and everybody in the ring and still end up winning. So I just think that no matter what you do at WrestleMania, if you end it with John Cena being a super heel, holding the titles, with his foot on Cody Rhodes again, you done the right thing. You booked a good WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we move on, one last quick point is, if Stone Cold comes out and helps Cody, well, then The Rock better have somebody else to come help and get the advantage back again. Like, be one step ahead.
Of course. Yeah, like you got duped last year, playing a little bit better this year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? We're going to stay on the championship thing for a little bit here. We've been very vocal about this, how WWE should book this WrestleMania. You book Tiffany Stratton to beat Charlotte Flair. You book it. I know that we specifically have had issues with Tiffany's promo work, which is a fair criticism right now. I think Tiffany has struggled on the mic, but you got to put people in positions to learn in the WWE, and you got to build a future. And I think Tiffany Stratton has the backing. I think that she has the in-ring ability by far. If you want to build a really, really big star in the WWE, you have Tiffany Stratton defeat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania for that title.
Yeah, some of these things take time. And while the days of instant gratification, like, oh, well, she's not fantastic on the mic right now, she's not a good champ. Well, we can give it some time here. And a win over Charlotte just gives her more credibility. So then even if you look down the line and you say, you know what, maybe Tiffany isn't the right answer, isn't the right solution, whoever takes the title off Tiffany, well, okay, well, they beat Tiffany, who beat Charlotte Flair. Like, there is going to be legitimacy. It's not just a random thing at that point.
And with you saying that, it's like, if it doesn't work out, you still can rip the belt off her and then work on it and come back and still have your feet established, because you can go, well, I did beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. It's kind of like what they every once in a while sprinkle in there with Austin Theory. It's like that guy has had more issues in the WWE than anybody in terms of what the hell do you do with him? What the hell do you do with him? Well, every once in a while, when he does start getting a little heat, when he does start getting a little momentum, they bring up again, hey, by the way, this guy beat John Cena at WrestleMania. That's the type of stock that you could have in Tiffany Stratton here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like you said, it's kind of the next big thing. I understand some of the criticism, some of the critique, but there is a chance to continue to keep building it. Like you said, wrestling is 365. So things are going to get better. And at the end of the day, if you finally decide, hey, maybe it's not working out, maybe she does need some extra time, well, that's okay too. But the complete wrong thing to do, in my opinion, is to give Charlotte that, because at the end of the day, one day Charlotte is going to retire, and there needs to be some established women after that.
Completely agree. 100% agree. And then, of course, Tiffany, Chelsea, go down the line, and you domino it into the NXT women's roster. I mean,
that's the thing. You talk about the future of women's wrestling. Well, Charlotte's not going to be here forever. So you got to kind of start establishing some of that. And Charlotte doesn't need that right now. Maybe eventually she can get down the line and she can tie Rick, or maybe if she wants to beat Rick's record. Okay, that's fine. But right now, we don't need it.
Yeah, we're good. We're going to go back onto we're going to stick to titles, basically.
Okay.
The WrestleMania card, or just cards in general for Triple H, have been pretty, he keeps in about 5-6 matches, right? Which is a great feeling. I love the way that our PLEs have been paced over the past couple of years. I think it's spectacular. And because of that, you don't have to put both tag titles on this show. You don't have to do it. If the Raw Tag Team Championships don't get the steam that we are kind of foreseeing them not getting, don't put the tag team titles on this show just to have the tag team titles on this show, Raw in specific.
Yeah, I mean, the Raw tag title scene has been lacking since last Mania. Judgment Day won those, and you thought, man, this is going to be awesome.
Well, Miz and Truth won them first.
So we'll see. Well, I even forgot about that. So you look at it that way. I even forgot that was the case. But yeah, that was the case. And then a few weeks later, that you mentioned that, a few weeks later, Judgment Day gets the win, and then Raiders get it off of them. And there hasn't been a whole lot of story development here. There hasn't been a whole lot of buzz. There hasn't been a lot of promos. There hasn't been really anything there. So this is a great thing to put on either the Raw before, or you could do the Raw after. Yep. I mean, depending on how you want to do it, I would say probably Raw before, unless you've got a tag team, like let's say a Fraxium or something that you want to pull up from NXT, something like that. Now, I'm saying a big change, a big shift in the division. Put it on the Raw before. If not, put it on the Raw after. That's fine. The SmackDown tag titles, I think, deserve to be on there, but the Raw tag titles have not given me anything to think, hey, this deserves a Mania match in a time that not everybody's getting a match at Mania.
Yep. You have to earn it. You have to earn it, and WWE, unfortunately, this year didn't make the Raw tag team titles earn it. They didn't give enough stock to them. Now, again, we're in March. We have time. The New Day could be shot into the Raw tag team title scene and be awesome. Or Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio could catch fire. Or Penta and his brother is now a free agent. They could shoot into the tag title scene. So things can change here. But if the momentum is at where it's at now, which is basically none, leave them off. We don't just need a War Raiders tag team title defense at WrestleMania just to do it. Let's keep the card short and let's be good there. And with that, I want to say same thing applies to the women's mid-card titles, but one has to be defended at Mania. I think that one of the mid-card titles for the women has to be defended because they're brand new titles and you need to establish these things as being big time. And I know that that sounds hypocritical right away because I just say you have to earn it. You have to earn it. I do think it's a little bit different this time because those are brand new titles and you need to display them in the biggest situations in order to give them the build to be on these spots, right? Establish them. And Chelsea Green, at the very least, I think, deserves to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough spot because I'm going to say that I think both of them probably end up making it. If you don't take the Raw tag titles off, I think that you should kind of be fair and make it the SmackDown mid-card, but then at the same time, you leave Chelsea Green off, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to balance out the shows, but also Chelsea Green is so important that you're like, she has to be on the card some way, somehow. So can't be Chelsea Green, but you also can't take 2 titles off of Raw gone. So I think both of them probably do end up making it. You kind of have to. And like you said, you kind of have to earn it and you kind of have to deserve to be there. And you could argue that Valkyria and the Raw women's IC title hasn't done that. But there's still a little bit of time. There's a lot of people kind of jousting over, hey, I want that title. You could do a multi-woman match, even though I'm not the biggest fan. But at least it gets it on the card. I don't know if people would feel good about that. I don't know if people hate that. I think Chelsea needs some sort of kind of big feud for hers. I kind of thought that would be Piper Niven, but we kind of haven't also really gotten anything with that. I know there's still some time, but they need to kind of have something big for her to do because she's got to make the card.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I mean, I know we're talking about the women's mid-card title, and I'm being serious about that. They need to have a position here at WrestleMania because we need to establish them. But like, at the very least, Chelsea Green needs to be at WrestleMania because she has deserved it. I mean, honestly, with the amount of time that she's been given on shows, which is barely nothing most of the time, and you still walk away every episode going, man, that Chelsea Green spot was freaking spectacular. Get her to Mania. But
yeah, even if it's something quick, you can do a quick 6, 7, 8 minute match. Like it doesn't have to be.
100%.
Doesn't have to be a 20-minute classic. Something quick is perfectly fine. Like you said, she's the maxer of minutes, so throw her on there, let them maximize.
Let's go back to more serious things that aren't necessarily titles here. Very quickly, WWE needs to book this at WrestleMania 100%. Randy Orton needs to punt Kevin Owens right in the face. It'd be the perfect end to this Kevin Owens heel run. I mean, he could still be a heel afterward, but it would be the perfect sum up to this whole heel story because obviously he did turn on Randy Orton, pile drive Orton, and what better way to full circle that than come to WrestleMania and Randy Orton punts that man square in the dome. Man, I'm going to be popping for it.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited for this. This match is going to be great. The promo work's going to be great in terms of the build-up. And we get the punt finally. Maybe Randy can kick some sense into Kevin, and maybe he doesn't end up being as heelish or as right as he says. And now he has had some backing. He is kind of smart about the things he says because there are truths, right? Like, this did happen, and this did happen. And at the end of the day, you can say, Kevin kind of maybe isn't the heel. He's just kind of stating facts. I get that. I understand that. But maybe at the end of the day, maybe he gets punted and maybe, let bygones be bygones. Things happen in life and maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's a character change there.
Yeah, no, he punts him and then he's a brand new character when he gets up. Oh, hi, Randy. They give a big old hug at the end of WrestleMania. It's full circle. It just needs to happen. I mean, I missed the punt as is from Randy Orton. So I just can't wait for the match to be a 20-minute classic, which is what it's going to be, where they beat the hell out of each other. And then we get the vein popping out of Randy Orton's head as the demons take over and he punts some sense, like you said, right back into Kevin Owens. Book it. That's how you do it, WrestleMania. But bigger than that, I would say, Open WrestleMania with Jey versus Gunther. Set the stage. Set the stage right away. I don't think anybody has bought into this feud to the point where we need it to main event night one at WrestleMania. Now, I know that's what Royal Rumble is. The whole point is you win it and you're going on to main event WrestleMania. Well, we know that's not always the truth. And I feel like what better way to start WrestleMania 41 than to have Jey come out, steal the title from Gunther. We get the yeets right away. I mean, talk about it, just an energy boost, a shot of adrenaline to start the show.
Yeah, I think especially as you look at the cards or the matches that you think are going to happen and you lay out night one, night two, doesn't have enough steam for me to main event night one, so doesn't have enough steam to main event night two either. You need a shot of energy to start the weekend off right. It's a moment that you can have Jey posing, everybody yeeting, He's yeeting with the title. It is a moment that you can replay all throughout the night. You can play it throughout the next night. You can see the pandemonium and the crowd just being so excited. People might have a little bit of hesitation because maybe that takes too much energy out. But it's WrestleMania. If you're not going to be energized there for the whole show, maybe you don't deserve to be there. Maybe that's the case.
Why'd you pay that money?
Yeah, you got to bring it. You know what I mean? It's WrestleMania. So I think this is going to open night one. I don't really see another path for it. I don't really see it going anywhere else. You're not going to tuck it in the middle randomly somewhere. So really kind of give it that. You start out hot. It could be another thing of Gunther overlooking Jey like right in the beginning. Oh, man, I got to open the night. Yeah, this will be light work, and then I'll leave, and I'll be done in 10 minutes. Boom.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like you just said, he could overlook him, kind of like how Brock Lesnar did at WrestleMania 35 with Seth. Paul Heyman came out and he was like, you know what? Lesnar's got to catch a flight. He don't want to be here all night. Screw that. Let's just get this over with now. He'll beat Seth right now. Gunther can do the same thing. Open the show. You know what? He doesn't even deserve the prestige to go on last. Let's just get this over with. Jey comes out, pulls off the upset. It's the perfect storybook beginning to what's going to, in my opinion, be the bookend of John Cena ending night 2 of WrestleMania as the big bad heel with the title. So you start WrestleMania with the new up and coming huge face winning a title, and then you end it with the big time heel. Bada boom, bada bang.
Yeah, that was the exact thought of the Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar when you said going on first. I was like, that's exactly how I would model it. Do the same thing. It's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
And it worked there. It's going to work again.
Speaking of Seth Rollins, we only have a couple more here, but let's get into it. It's seeming like Punk versus Roman versus Rollins is probably going to be a thing. It's not confirmed yet, but come on now. We're doing the triple threat at WrestleMania here. Mm-hmm. How you book this if you are the WWE going into WrestleMania? You book it to where CM Punk wins it. Why do you do that? You do it because Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have unfinished business that needs to be settled by themselves at some point, probably even at Mania. So why have one of them win this match and give us any sort of closure to the Shield storyline while Punk's involved? Let Punk win this one at WrestleMania. He gets a big WrestleMania moment after being injured last year. And then, of course, you have Roman and Seth go do their thing at some other point. SummerSlam, WrestleMania.
Do you have this as night 1 main event?
Ooh. It's hard to say a title doesn't get there. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, no. I wouldn't have it as the main event, which is going to sound crazy. And people are going to be like, well, that's the whole point of Punk's storyline right now is main eventing. I think that the way that we book the Rhea, Bianca, Io stuff is going to determine that. If you somehow get a big time Bianca turn or the Rhea stuff gets really good, then I think that you should technically have one of the Rumble winners main event one of the nights.
Yeah. And it feels kind of weird to not have a title be the main event. I don't know. It's either going to be the second to last match or the last match of, I think, night 1. Yeah, I think that's how that's going.
You keep that away from Cena.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You let all the anticipation build for that. I think you have to have Punk win. Like you said, you got to have Rollins and Roman settle their own score at some point, sometime. I would probably venture to say maybe a SummerSlam. This is the first year that we're doing the night 1, night 2. So you need some kind of big main events built in there. I understand it's not going to be a Mania-esque finish to that, but at the same time, I think they're trying to build SummerSlam up as a Summer Mania. That's why we're doing 2 nights, right? So something big to kind of kick off maybe a night 1 of SummerSlam this year. Give that and sign me up.
Yeah, 100%. There's not much else to say. We want Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, but we also want CM Punk. They're going to put them all in a sandwich this year, but we need to get the finishing touches on the Shield stuff down the line. But let's end it with one more thing here. I just threw this in as how I would book it at the very end. Let's end Judgment Day. Let's end Judgment Day at WrestleMania this year. I don't know how. Right now, it looks like we might even be doing Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker when I thought for sure we were going to get Dom versus Finn. I don't know where the hell they're going with things right now, but on a week-to-week basis, I'm sitting here going, get my boy Dirty Dom out to do bigger things. Let's have WrestleMania be the bookend on the Judgment Day.
Yeah, you know how you do that. You do a multi-man match for the IC title.
Oh, man.
Some way, somehow, you got Finn and Dom involved in it. Go ahead and break it up right there. We have Finn and Dom obviously hugging at Raw on this one because Dom saves Finn, right? And you're like, oh man, maybe I can really trust him. Well, maybe they start to kind of cause a divide over that IC title. That's fine with me. You know what? Go ahead and give Dom the IC title at Mania. I understand Braun Breaker's got bigger, better things to do. That's fine. That's awesome. You could even have other people in this match, maybe a Ludwig Kaiser, some sort, or maybe a Penta, or I don't really care. Probably not Penta because you don't want his stock going down. But let's have Dom just pin Finn at Mania for the IC title. Why not? That way Braun Breaker doesn't technically lose it. Yeah, sure. Sign me up.
I didn't think about that, and now it might be the thing that I want most in WrestleMania. My boy Dom holding up a title at some point at WrestleMania, pinning Finn Balor. You got Braun Breaker able to break off, go do whatever he needs to do, hopefully after Jey in the main title scene or Gunther, whoever wins that. And then, of course, you got Dirty Dom coming out of Mania with some gold around his waist. Come on, the boy deserves it. And then, of course, we can kickstart the new year after WrestleMania with a nice Finn Balor, Dom Mysterio rivalry that ends the Judgment Day. That sounds absolutely perfect. Give me some nuggies and let me watch.
Yeah. Like I said, just a nice triple threat is fine with me. You could have Braun Breaker versus them. Like you said, they're already building towards Braun and Finn. So why not just do a triple threat of some sort? Why not throw it out there? Titles and tendies in 2025.
God, that'd be phenomenal.
If not now, when?
If John Cena and Dom walk out of WrestleMania with titles, I'm a happy man. I don't care, man. Anyway, that is our opinions on how WWE should book WrestleMania 41. Of course, we'll have official predictions and stuff down the line, but we are a little bit ways out from WrestleMania, so we got to let this crazy road cook because they are swerving on us every day. So that's going to be good stuff. But anyway, follow us on all of our socials at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcast at, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. And then, of course, we do our live streams on youtube.com/at COD WrestlePod. We do Raw, SmackDown, and PLE. So that means tonight we will be doing our Raw live stream. Be there. Can't wait to see you. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.